January 8, 1935. A poor family in Tupelo, Mississippi. A difficult birth that should have ended in tragedy. But something happened in that delivery room that night. Something so incredible that the doctor who witnessed it kept it secret for 41 years. When Elvis finally learned the truth about his birth, it explained everything. His talent, his survival, his destiny. This is that story. If you believe some people are born with a special purpose, this story will blow your mind. Hit that subscribe button because what you're about to hear will change everything you thought you knew about destiny. Memphis, October 1976. Elvis walks into Baptist Memorial Hospital. Nothing special, just a routine physical. His doctor had been after him for months to get checked out. Elvis hated hospitals. Too many memories, too much pain, but his health was starting to worry everyone around him. The receptionist smiled nervously. "Mr. Presley, Dr. Patterson will see you now." Elvis followed the nurse down a long hallway. White walls, sterile smell, everything he despised about medical facilities. But what happened next? Nobody saw it coming. Dr. William Patterson was 78 years old. He'd been practicing medicine for over 50 years, delivered thousands of babies, saved countless lives. But when Elvis walked into his office, Dr. Patterson froze. His hands started shaking. Not from excitement, from shock. "My God," he whispered, "you're him." Elvis was confused. "Excuse me, Doc, you're the baby from Tupelo." January 8, 1935. Now Elvis was really confused. "How could you possibly know that?" Dr. Patterson sat down heavily. "Because I delivered you. Here's the thing about babies. They all look pretty much the same. Wrinkled, red, crying." But Dr. Patterson recognized something else, something that had haunted him for 41 years. "You had a birthmark," he said quietly, "shaped like a lightning bolt. Right here." He pointed to Elvis's left shoulder, the exact spot where Elvis had always had a distinctive mark. Elvis's jaw dropped. "How could you remember that? You delivered thousands of babies." "Not like you," Dr. Patterson replied. "What happened that night? I've never seen anything like it before or since." Dr. Patterson's hands were still shaking. He poured himself a glass of water, took a deep breath. "Your mother was in labor for 18 hours. It was bad, really bad." Elvis leaned forward. Nobody had ever told him this. "She was bleeding heavily. The baby you weren't responding. Your heartbeat was fading." Dr. Patterson paused, looked directly at Elvis. "At 4:35 a.m., your heart stopped completely." Stopped. Elvis couldn't believe what he was hearing. Flat line, no pulse, no breathing. "You were clinically dead for 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Elvis felt the room spinning. "That's impossible. I'm sitting right here." "I know. That's what made it a miracle." Dr. Patterson opened an old file cabinet, pulled out a yellowed folder. "I kept your birth records. All of them, including the ones I was supposed to destroy." Inside the folder were medical charts, handwritten notes, and something else that made Elvis's blood run cold. A death certificate, with his name on it. Dated January 8, 1935. "I filled this out at 4:35 a.m., Dr. Patterson explained. "You were gone, completely gone." Elvis stared at the document. "Then what happened?" "Your mother started praying, not just regular praying. She was begging God to bring you back." Dr. Patterson's voice cracked. "And then the impossible happened. At 4:38 a.m. you gasped. Just once. Then your heart started beating again." Elvis was speechless. "But that's not even the strangest part. When you came back, you were different." "Different how?" "You were glowing. I swear to God there was a light around you. Soft, golden, like nothing I'd ever seen." Dr. Patterson showed Elvis another document. "I wrote it all down, every detail, because I knew nobody would believe me." "Was anyone else there?" Elvis asked. "Your father, the midwife, and a minister who had come to give last rites." Dr. Patterson flipped through his notes. "They all saw it. The light, the miracle." "What did they say?" "The minister said he'd never seen anything like it. Said you were touched by something divine." Elvis's mind was reeling. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Your parents were scared. They thought people would think they were crazy." Dr. Patterson explained how they'd covered it up, destroyed the death certificate, rewrote the birth records. "We all agreed to keep it secret. Your parents were terrified that if people knew, they'd treat you like some kind of freak. But you kept the original records. I couldn't throw them away." "What happened that night was too important." Dr. Patterson looked at Elvis seriously. "You weren't just born. You were chosen." "Chosen for what?" Elvis asked. "To bring joy to the world. To heal people through music. To touch millions of lives." Dr. Patterson pulled out more documents, newspaper clippings, photos. "I've been following your career for 20 years. Every song, every performance, every life you've touched. He spread the clippings across his desk. This is why you came back. This is your purpose. Fan letters about how Elvis's music had saved lives. Stories of healing, moments of pure joy. Look at this, he said, showing Elvis a letter. A woman in Ohio, she was about to commit suicide, heard Love Me Tender on the radio, changed her mind. More letters, more stories, more lives changed. This one's from a soldier in Vietnam. Said your music kept him alive through the worst battles. Elvis was overwhelmed. You kept all of this, every story I could find, because they prove what I witnessed that night. You see, Elvis, what happened in that delivery room wasn't random. You were given a second chance for a reason. Dr. Patterson leaned forward. Your music doesn't just entertain people, it heals them, gives them hope, saves lives. But why me? Because you died and came back. You understand pain in a way others can't. That's what makes your music so powerful. Elvis thought about all the times fans had told him his music helped them through difficult times. The light I saw around you, it never went away, it just got channeled into your voice. So what am I supposed to do with this information? Elvis asked. Keep doing what you're doing, but understand the responsibility. Dr. Patterson stood up, walked to the window. Every song you sing, every performance, every moment you connect with another human being, you're fulfilling the purpose you were given. That's a lot of pressure. It's not pressure, it's privilege. You were chosen to be a vessel for something greater. Dr. Patterson had one more thing to show Elvis. A small, worn Bible. This was your mother's. She left it with me the night you were born. Elvis opened it. Inside the cover, in Gladys's handwriting, "For my miracle baby, may you always remember why you were saved." She knew, Elvis whispered. She knew from the moment you came back. You were special, chosen, destined for something extraordinary. Everything clicked into place for Elvis. His unusual connection with audiences, his ability to move people emotionally, the way his music seemed to touch souls. The night you died and came back, you were given a gift. Not just life, but the ability to give life to others through music. Dr. Patterson handed Elvis a copy of the original birth records. These belong to you now. Why are you telling me this now? Because you needed to know. Your purpose, your responsibility, your destiny. Elvis left the hospital that day, a changed man. He finally understood why his music affected people so deeply. He wasn't just a performer, he was a healer, a channel for something divine. The next concert he performed, people noticed a difference. More emotion, more connection, more healing. Elvis had found his true purpose. Dr. Patterson died 6 months later, but before he passed, he made sure Elvis's miracle birth story was preserved. Future generations need to know, he told Elvis. Your music isn't just entertainment, it's medicine for the soul. Elvis kept the original birth records until his death. They were found among his most treasured possessions. Word of Elvis's miraculous birth spread quietly through his inner circle. It explained so much about his extraordinary connection with audiences. Musicians who worked with him noticed how he seemed to channel something beyond himself during performances. It was like he was connected to a higher power, one guitarist later said. Dr. Patterson's records were later verified by medical experts. The documentation of Elvis's clinical death and resurrection was authentic. What happened that night defies medical explanation, one expert concluded, but the evidence is undeniable. Religious leaders who learned about Elvis's birth miracle saw it as proof of divine intervention. Some people are chosen for special purposes, one minister explained. Elvis was one of them. The 3 minutes and 14 seconds he was clinically dead became known as his divine appointment. Even after Elvis's death, people continue to find healing through his music. His albums still comfort the grieving. His voice still brings joy to the hurting. Dr. Patterson's documentation proved that Elvis's impact wasn't accidental. It was purposeful, divine. This incredible story teaches us that some people are truly chosen for special purposes. Elvis's clinical death and miraculous resurrection at birth wasn't just a medical anomaly. It was preparation for a lifetime of healing others through music. Elvis's birth miracle reminds us that sometimes the most extraordinary people have the most extraordinary beginnings. His 3 minutes of death gave him a lifetime of purpose. Every song he sang, every life he touched, every moment of joy he brought to the world, it all traced back to that miraculous night in Tupelo. When someone's music can heal hearts and save lives, maybe there's something divine at work. This incredible story proves that some people are born with a special purpose that goes beyond fame or fortune. If Elvis's miraculous birth and divine destiny touched your heart, please subscribe to our channel and share this story with someone who needs to hear about the power of second chances. Let us know in the comments if you believe in divine purpose, because stories like this remind us that miracles do happen.